Good morning. The first thing that we're going to look at, we're just going to jump right on in here. Instead of going down each of these one by one, I'm going to take you to where we go. Most people are more interested in, the biggest question I get asked most of the time is, how can I create a mailing list? So you can use this reports function right here. And you're going to select the second option, reporting tools. And that will give you the option of creating 3 different reports. You can build a list of parcels that match specific criteria that you select, or you can do that with create a list of sales or a list of parcels within a specific subdivision. So we're going to take a look at the first one, Parcel List Generator. And when you click on this, anything that's already filled in, it defaults to, because those are usually the things that people search most, residential parcels. So you start off by choosing your classification, what type of parcel you're going to be, what kind of parcel list you want to build. And then you can choose an area. You can build a list of parcels for a specific municipality. You can do it for all of Lee County, or you can narrow your search down to a specific zip code. Now, the bigger, the wider the search net that you cast, it will take longer to create the report. So let's just say you chose all of Lee County. It might take a few minutes to run that report for you. So for our purposes here, we're just going to choose a specific zip code here. And we're going to look for single family. You can change that if you want to a different property type. And then you can go down here and narrow it further. Let's say, let's create a list of parcels that have 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. And you can select whether you want a pool or not. We're going to keep all on here. Okay, and then we have to tell it we're not a robot. I don't see any more palm trees. And then you click here to view your report. Now you can also create address labels for all of the parcels that this is going to bring up. And it will give you a template for 5161 address labels from Avery. So we're going to click on View Report here. And we have 560 pages of parcels that match that search criteria that we selected. Now you can view the parcels this way by just scrolling down. And in this format, it's only going to give you the site address, the property type, the land type, the owner name and owner's mailing address, and the value here. And you can scroll page by page, go back and forth here, or you can save this to a CSV file, and it will export all of the data for those parcels into an Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to open that up now. It takes just a minute to load. And now when you look at the parcels on the Excel sheet, there's going to be more data here. And this is going to show you everything that we have on all of those parcels, all the data that we have in our system on the spreadsheet. Now, some of the columns you'll have to expand a little bit so you can see all of the information there. And here you have the folio or the strap number. And STRAP is an acronym for the section, township, range, area, and parcel. And what that means is that this parcel is in section 7, township 44, range 24. It's in Cape Coral. And then the last, these are the block number, and this is the usually the unit number. If it's, let's say, this is the block number and this is the lot number.
We are not seeing the spreadsheet.
Okay. How about now? It says you're screen sharing.
No, we're not able to see it. Sorry.
Okay, I'm so sorry. How about now?
Nope.
Oh, there we go. Now we can see it.
Okay, it looks like I'm going to have to click on that each time for you to be able to see it. Okay, let me know. Speak up if you're not seeing something. I appreciate that. So let's go back. Here's the folio, the strap number, and then you have the parcel's site address here. There's the street number and the street name, where it's at, which city it's at, and the zip code. And then we have the owner name. And then you have your owner address, and this is their mailing address. And then you go further on down, you'll find your DOR description. This is a single family home. And then we get into the values. You have it's broken out for you with just value, the land value, and your building value. Here's the square footage under heated area, how many bathrooms and the year it's built, whether or not it's got a pool. And then you have the official records number. This is the instrument number that you can, if you want to look up the deed or the sale, you can go to the Lee County Clerk of Courts and search by this instrument number. And you've got your sale date and the amount of sale. And then it's broke out into the gross area, total living area, the land area, and this is in square feet. And then your land description. This property here on this first row is on a canal. And then the last row is for legal description, which is not necessarily the actual legal description of the property. It's more of a property description for internal use for our office here. So the great thing about seeing all of the data on this Excel sheet is you can sort it and analyze it however you want to. Let's say I had a gentleman ask me in a training one year, he said, if I wanted to send a letter or if I wanted to create a mailing list for people who own property in Lee County, but they live in Boston, Massachusetts, because that's where he was from. He said, I want to send everybody that owns property in Lee County and they live in Boston, from my hometown, a letter and let them know that if they ever are interested in selling their property, to contact me. And he said, can we do that? And I showed him how he could do that on this Excel sheet. So you pull up the property, you would do a property, use your reporting tools, search for the type of property. You would select all of Lee County, like I showed you back on the reporting tool screen, and then it would pull up the Excel sheet for you. Then you can go over to your owner's name and owner address. Here's the street address, and here's the city and state. And then you can search, you can sort this column here and look for Boston, Massachusetts. So we're going to go up here to the top of the column. We're going to go over here to sort. We're going to sort A to Z. And this is very important right here. You want to make sure this button is selected, because once you start sorting, when you sort this column, you want all of the data on this line to stay. You want all your data to stay together. In other words, everybody holds hands and stays together if you have this button clicked on. So now we're going to sort. And then this gentleman that wanted to send everybody in Boston a letter could go right down this column and search for Boston. And then he could delete anything that he didn't want. Let's say the guy was from Bronx, and there were a lot of properties here because we searched for the entire county. You could delete what you didn't want and save what you did want. And then you could do a mail merge and create your mailing list. Now you can do the same thing with Sales List Generator. You can create a list of sales within a specific date range. You can go back to the beginning of the year if you want. Just change the date. Within a specific municipality or specific zip code. And then remember, if you choose Lee County or if you choose an entire area, the wider you cast your net, the longer the report is going to take to run. Then you can also choose, break out that report and make it more specific. Let's say 4 bedrooms, 2 baths with a pool. And view your report. And this one pops up. And you can save it to a CSV file. Can you see the Excel sheet?
Yes.
Okay. And then you can do the same thing. You can analyze it however you want to. Some of the columns you may have to format. For instance, the sale instrument number here, you would have to go and format that. Click on number. You're not going to need any decimal points. Then click on OK. And then there is your instrument number if you want to go look up that deed with the clerk of courts. If you want to look at this list and sort it by value, you want to see what the highest value sale was. I'm looking for my sale column. Here we go. Here's the sale amount. And then you're going to go up here to sort from largest to smallest. Make sure that that's checked. And then you'll be able to see everything in order of the sale amount. Okay. We'll get rid of our Excel sheet. And you can do, of course, the same thing by subdivision. If you want to send everybody within a specific subdivision or create a mailing list for that, it's just as simple as clicking in the subdivision name, and the same thing happens. And for the sake of time, we won't do that because it's very self-explanatory there. Now here is our property data search. If you want to search for a specific property, you can go there. And then you can search by the strap number or by the folio. You can search by owner name. And you're going to want to use last name first. And you can also search by a site address. And when you're doing that, you need to remember less is best. For instance, our office here is located on 2480 Thompson Street. If I just put in 24 and Thompson, or just Tomp, and click the search button, it's going to give me a list of parcels, every parcel that's in the county that starts with 24 and Tomp. And here I am right down here, 2480 Thompson Street. Now, when you search for a parcel this way and your information comes up, you can use some of these quick links to go right to where you want to go. And one of the newest things that we've added within the last year is this quick link here to view comparables. And we're going to look at that when we get into another property I'm going to show you in Cape Coral. If you click here, you're going to go to our parcel details, to the property data page, and this will show you all of the information that we have on the parcel. And it has many there's lots of quick links on this page. You can go right to the tax map, view comparable sales. You can look at it in pictometry right here. And this will let you look at the parcel from the front of the parcel, from the rear, from the side, or from a bird's eye view. And then we have the photos of the structure here. Here's the value information. If you click on this icon here, it's going to give you the property record card for that parcel. And all of these codes, there's so many codes on this, anything on the website, any code on the website, if you need to decipher what it is, you can go to our home page and click right here under Codes Breakdown, and you'll be able to decipher whatever code it is you're looking at. I'm trying to get rid of this, but this thing is in the way here. Here we go. You can look and see what type of exemptions are associated with the parcel. Oh, I'm sorry, I wanted to show you this as well. This is the historical values. If you click on this icon, it'll bring up all of the property value history in a table. I lost my property data page. Okay, we're going to go back home here. And now I want to take you over to GeoView. You can also search for, just like we did here, property data search. And we looked for a property by searching by address. You can also search for properties in our GeoView. When GeoView pops up, you should get an instruction window that tells you how to use the tools. And once you don't need that window anymore, you can check the box down here at the bottom, and it won't pop up every time you load GeoView. Now here we have our tax map, and you'll see there's 4 different, in the 4 corners, you can do different things. Let's take a look really quick over here at the layer controls and turn those on. Now, all of the different colored boundaries you see there are the municipality boundaries. You can, we're going to zoom in just a little bit here. You can look at imagery from, select the year that you want to look at. If you want to look at the past years, you can select whichever one you want. I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer. Here you have your parcels and streets. And any time that you see a red exclamation point, you have to be zoomed in a little closer to be able to see whatever that layer is. So for instance, parcel labels. Now you can see the parcel label here. These are the last 9 digits of the strap number. And as I was saying before, the strap number is an acronym for section, township, range, area, and parcel. This is the block number and the lot number of this particular parcel. And you can click on parcel details, let's expand this. Parcel details, here's what I want. Expand this. And if we turn off the labels because we don't specifically want to look at the strap number, you can also turn on your street numbers. So you can see this is 8024 Gator Palm Drive. And you also have other things, lots and dimensions. If you zoom in a little bit closer, it gives you, these are right off, this is annotation right off of the plat for the specific subdivision. It gives you the radius of this curve and the distance. And all of these annotations come right off the plat for that subdivision. You can look at the easements. And we don't, here we go, easements running right through this way. And you also have subdivision boundaries you can turn on and turn off. Okay. All right, we can go back and look at this. You can search for comparable sales in GeoView. And we're going to do that later. And now I want to show you the tools that you can use here in GeoView. And if the tool has a red box around it, that means it's active. This is your pan tool and it's always on. And all you have to do is just click and drag your cursor to move around on the map. And then you can search for parcels using GeoView with the binoculars. When you click on this, it's going to ask you, how do you want to search for parcels? Well, you can search by folio, strap number, the same way we did on the property data search a few minutes ago. Let's search by, let's see, folio number. And it takes you right to the parcel. Now let's say we want to measure this parcel and see what the frontage is. So we're going to turn this off because we're not searching for parcels anymore. Now we're going to turn on this tool. We're going to measure a straight line. So we'll select this one and there's the red box meaning it's active. So you're going to click once where you want to start and then double click where you want to stop. And that's going to be about 79.8 feet. This is approximate, of course. So we've got 79 or 80 feet of frontage. And let's see what the depth is. So we click here and double click here. We've got 125 feet. That's our depth. Now what if we want to do the area? What if we want to know what the area is? We just click on this tool and go all the way around, single clicking, and then double click. And this is approximately a 1/4 acre. It gives it to you in acres and square feet. Let's say that we want to label, we want to annotate that, what we just measured. You can use this little pencil tool here, and then you can select what color you want the font to be. Let's just stay with red because that stands out. And we're going to put some text here. So we're going to click on the text box and then just type in whatever you want to put there. We're going to say 25 feet. And then wherever you click, that's where it's going to land. There's your 25 feet. And it was, or I'm sorry, that was 80 feet. So I made a mistake. We're going to take this little pencil with the X, click on that, and then we'll get rid of our mistake. We'll go back and do that again. That was 80 feet. We'll click it here. And then we're going to go back and say 125 feet. And put that there. We can label it with the name. However we want to annotate that, you can use these tools to do that. And to make it all go away, you just click on this little X right here, and all of your annotation goes away. Now, if you annotate it and want to save it to a graphic, you can do that with this tool here. You can create a printable map, make a PDF of it, or you could save it here as a JPEG. Now this little overlay right here will tell you where in the county this parcel is. And that shows you right here, the little red dot. The parcel's in probably right about the middle of Cape Coral. And then of course these here will take you back to your previous extent if we want to go back to the area we were prior before we started searching. Just use these arrows to toggle back and forth. Now I want to go back to the parcel that we annotated here. Let's say we want to look at comparable sales for this parcel. So we have this parcel selected. And now we're going to go down here to the grid where you see down here at the table where you see the parcel information. And you can do a couple of different things when you click on this icon down here. You can go right to that property data page that we were looking at a few minutes ago that shows you the photo and it has all the links, it tells you about the exemptions, etc. Or we can, if let's say we want to search for comparable sales for this parcel. What you're going to do is you've got it selected. Now you need to set it as, let's open up, first we need to open up our layer controls over here. We're going to go down and turn on the Appraisal Information tab or box. And we're going to click on Comparable Sales. Okay, now we're going to go back down here to the table, click on this icon, and set it as our subject parcel. And you see automatically these parcels over here just popped up. Let's zoom out just a little bit. We still only have one parcel down here in our table. So what we have to do now is go over and click on Comparable Sales, the information icon right here. And when you do that, all of the data for these parcels that are comparable will pop up. Now you can view the data here. Of course, you're not going to be able to view the entire spreadsheet. So if you want to see the Excel, you just right click in the grid and then you can save this table, all of this information here, to a CSV file. And then that will export it to an Excel spreadsheet for you. And you can analyze the data from there. And then to get rid of that, you just X out your table and it all goes away. You can also, I wanted to show you this over here under the appraisal information. You can click on these other boxes here and view all of the sales, not necessarily just comparable sales, but all of the sales in the area here.
Now we have a question in the chat box. What is the criteria? What criteria is used for comparable sales?
Apples to apples, it's all based on the attributes and the data that we have on the parcels. The DOR codes, of course, would have to be the same. The property type would have to be the same. It's really matching apples to apples and oranges to oranges. But it is based on all of the codes, all of the physical attributes of the parcel, of the parcels.
Okay, thanks.
Mhm.
If you have a question, if you would just unmute yourselves and ask your question.
And one of those attributes does include like no pools, correct?
They should, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was just one of those attributes that you're talking about, or the codes would be whether a house has a pool or doesn't have a pool.
Right. Whether let's just say, and let me also add this too. Let's pull this property up on the parcel data, let me go back to that specific parcel we were looking at. You know what? Let me just get rid of this. We're going to search by location, go back to that folio. There it is. Okay. We'll get rid of that. Now we're going to pull this up, go right to the property data page from here. The other way that you can view comparable sales is to click on our link. Now we've only got through Cape Coral. We do not have, this is, like I said, this is very new, and we've got this particular report comes up only for Cape Coral parcels right now. We're still working on the rest of the county. Here's your report. When you click on the sales comparison link from the property data page, and it will show you your subject property and the front photos of your comparables. And then, of course, your locations. Here's your subject. Here's comparable 1, 2, and 3. And then you can, of course, save this as well. Save your report. Now, let's say you want to create a mailing list. Let's say you sold this client, you had this client and you sold their home for them, and now you want to notify everybody in their neighborhood, give them a heads up if they're interested in selling their home. So we're going to search for all of these parcels so we can create the mailing list. We're going to open up our toolbox again, and we're going to search with binoculars. Now you can search just using this tool here. It's going to let you create a straight line from here to here. That'll just give you that row of parcels. You can use the rectangle to click on to search for these 2 blocks. But some places or some areas just aren't, they're different shapes. So you can use your polygon tool to create or to select all of these parcels. And then double click. And that'll give you a list of all of the parcels in this neighborhood. And then you can, of course, go down here and click in the grid, save this table to a CSV file. And then do your mail merge from Excel. And we'll just get rid of that. Okay.
So now we have a question from Carol. She says, sales comps go back how many days?
Sales comps. I'm not sure. Angela, I will have to get back to you on that.
Okay, and one more question. Can you see if partials have city utility?
Do they have city utility? Let me think.
If you have any other questions, if you would just unmute yourself and ask your question.
If you go to the property data page, I'm going to just take a look.
I have one question. Was this recorded from the beginning?
Was this training recorded from the beginning?
Yes.
I'm not sure. Angela, are you recording?
I am from the beginning.
Yeah. Okay, because I just missed the part of how you pulled together that spreadsheet that showed the property's owner's like out-of-state address.
Okay.
But if you could review that, if not, I'll just watch the recording. That's fine.
No problem. We can go back and do that again.
Same here. I missed that part as well. I appreciate your time.
Okay, no problem. We're going to go back. Let's just go back to let's search for reporting tools. Okay, we're going to create a list of parcels here. We're going to use the zip code, specific zip code. Four bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. You can choose whatever area you want. You want single family or multifamily, condominium, whatever property type you're looking for. Okay, and then you can either create your labels, your address labels here, or view your report. And then you need to export your report to an Excel sheet. So you're going to save it to a CSV. And then in order to sort your data, you have to open the Excel sheet. And here's all of your data. And if you're looking for property owners from a specific place, here's where I did that. Here's your owner name, care of, owner's address, and this is mailing address. Remember, your site address comes first over here. And then after owner name, you'll find owner address. Here's owner city, owner state, and zip code. So however whichever city you're looking for or state, you would click at the top of the column, and then you're going to go over here to sort, A to Z or Z to A. And then remember to keep this button, if I believe it's defaulted to this, but that needs to be selected so that all of the data sorts together. Each column sorts, all of the rows stay with the right column. And then sort. And then now you have it in alphabetical order by city. And you can do that with any of these columns. You can sort by value. Your square footage, if you want to find the, let's go back to Here's heated area, gross area. Let's say you want to find the largest, from largest to smallest. And this would be the largest here at the top. And that's how you do that with your Excel sheet.
I have a question. What is the folio number? Is it just the numbers after the decimal in the parcel ID?
No, it's a separate number. It's completely separate from STRAP. It's a number that's generated here in our office for the parcel, and it's just mainly a shorter number. It's easier to search by. It's
Okay, so it's nothing that we would
no,
need to really use or, okay.
no. And you can use that, I believe, when you're searching. I think the tax collector's website recognizes that number as well, instead of keying in all of these numbers. And some people think, I have to have the dash or I have to have the decimal, and you don't. But it takes less time to search or to look for something that way.
Okay.
Let's go back to, I want to go back to the home page. Most places if you're on the website and you've navigated away from the home page, if you want to go back, usually there's a seal. And on this page, it's not doing it. If we go back to the home page here, I wanted to show you some of these quick links here. This one you might be interested in the most. This is upload your photos. Let's say, let's go back to that last parcel. Let's say you just listed this parcel, and this is the front photo, and you went out and when you listed that parcel, you took your own front photo and yours is better than what this looks like. If you want, you can send that to us. Right here, you can upload that by clicking on that little camera. And if you don't already have a username and password, it's very easy. You just click here and create one. And then you would need to log in with that. And then you can upload that photo or photos and send it to us, and we'll put it on the website. Every 5 years, we have to go out to each property and do our inspection. And that actually saves us work when people send in photos. The only thing you want to make sure of is that there aren't any children in the picture. There's not anything specific, like say the cars parked in the driveway with license plate number, and you see that in the picture. You don't want that. Or for sale signs, of course, we wouldn't be able to put that. If they had a big for sale sign in the front yard, we wouldn't be able to put that in or use that photo. So you have to keep those things in mind as well. And there are these quick links over here. You can apply for homestead online, your seniors exemption. You can change your mailing address. A lot of snowbirds come down, and when they go back up north, they want to make sure they get their tax bill, so they can go right here online and just quickly change their mailing address or update their mailing address. And frequently asked questions. These are the things that people ask us most when they call into the office. And down here we have a list of our publications. As most of you are aware, I'm sure, Mr. Wilkinson, our our property appraiser. He was our appraiser for 40 years. He retired last year, and we elected Mr. Caldwell, excuse me, in November. And here, if you'd like to learn more about Mr. Caldwell, you can go here to our welcome section. Mr. Caldwell was born and raised in Florida, and he was also a member of the Florida House of Representatives for 8 years, and now he's serving as our property appraiser. So we are in the process, actually, of updating some of our publications that we have here on the website. I want to point you to this particular one here, the Exemption Information Pamphlet. A lot of people that move to Florida and buy a home don't realize that we have homestead exemption. You can get this exemption on your property, and it will it reduces your assessed value and saves a lot of money on your taxes. So this is something you might want to maybe give to a new client that just moved here, and you sold them a home, and they will appreciate that information, and they will remember you. Does anyone else have any other questions?
Somebody put in the chat, they asked, can anybody upload photos to anybody else's property? Like, can I upload photos to my neighbor's property, for instance?
Yes, it's well, it has to, of course, when we get the photo, we of course inspect it and make sure that it's just showing, the front, the property. It's inspected before it's put on the website. So if
Okay.
it's, something that the neighbor would object to, of course, it'd be obvious and we wouldn't put it on the website.
Okay, good. Okay, so it is vetted before it goes out.
Yes, absolutely. Most definitely.
What is the process if there's some data that's incorrect on a property listing? How do we solve that problem?
You just get in touch with us and we just go through the proper channels. Sometimes we'll get somebody that comes in and says, I don't have 4 bedrooms. I have 3 bedrooms, or vice versa. If they bring in the information, we go over and they show it or they prove it to us, then we, of course, update the information on the website. It's just a matter of you letting us know.
Thank you.
You bet.
I have a question. I come from a different area of Florida, and definitions of bedrooms go by local code. Well, how does Lee County look at that?
I'm not sure on the specific criteria. I'm going to give you my email address. It's and for everybody, please make note. If you have this particular question, I'm not sure, but I will find out and get back to you. My email address is Sturgeon, STURGEONL at LEPA, LEEPA.org. And if you email, it's Cindy, right?
Yes, sorry.
If you email that question to me, I will get with our field services department and ask our manager in field services what that criteria is. I think it's whether or not, like for bedrooms, for instance, I think it has to have a closet to be considered a bedroom, but I'm not sure. Again, that's not my area of expertise. So I will get with if you send me an email so I can answer you back, I will find out that answer for you.
Great, thank you. I know the email was posted in the chat group, so everybody can copy it if they need to.
Great, great.
I have a question. Where
Yeah.
do we get the legal description, the correct one? You said we can't get it on the property appraiser.
Right. That's a good question. Okay, so what we have on our website, and I'm just going to pull this one up. Come on. Here we go. We have this little red disclaimer here, do not use for legal documents. Now, this is, of course, in Cape Coral. It's in a platted area. It's in a lot and block legal description. And that is, in fact, we say this is a property description, don't use it for legal documents. This happens to be a correct legal. But there's a lot of properties that we have that are meets and bounds legal descriptions. And they're just, there's some, whatever you see here, I mean, you're not going to be able to fit the entire meets and bounds legal description right here in this section. So some of it's abbreviated and it's for internal purposes only. I would say if you want to verify a specific legal description, you would need to touch base with the title company. And they can give you the exact legal description.
Okay, great. Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. And let's see, I wanted to show you pictometry while we're here. Let's take a look at pictometry, and that is where you can look at the parcel from the north, the south, the east, or the west if you want to see what it looks like. Here we're looking at it from the south. You just click on the cameras on the top, the bottom, and the sides. And now we're looking at it from the north. And if you want to go back to the original view, when you just click on the button down here, and that takes you right back. And then again, you can save this graphic if you click on this right here, and it'll save it to a PDF for you. You can also select what year you want to look at the parcel. So if we go back to 2004, that parcel wasn't even there. It was vacant land. So you can do some research that way as well by changing or toggling a different year to see like when something was added, when was a pool added, etc. Now, like I said, we just recently we elected a new property appraiser. We are going to be doing some more updates to the website, adding some things, and so you may be seeing some changes here and there. If you have any questions, you just give us a call. You also have, I want to point out up here too, you have a link to the property appraiser's website, or I'm sorry, the Lee County Tax Collector's website up here on the property data page. You can view the tax bill for this parcel. You can go right to the tax estimator. You can go to back and forth to this parcel, view the neighboring parcels here. We've added this change address. You can change your mailing address. This is a quick link like the one that I showed you on the home page. That's new.
I have a question on the tax estimator. Does that include the assessments that may be on a property?
No. No. Just like your trim notice, we get a lot of calls around November 1st when tax bills go out. because on your trim notice, you will only see the ad valorem assessments. Any non-ad valorem assessments, such as, for instance, this particular parcel city, they're getting city water, it won't, the assessment for the city water is not going to show up on their trim notice, but it certainly shows up on the tax bill. So there's a difference in how much it says you're going to be paying in taxes when you get your trim notice versus when you actually get the tax bill. Now all of a sudden you have the garbage is on there, you have city water or any of the other non-ad valorem assessments, and the taxpayer calls and wants to know why is there such a big difference?
How about the millage rate? What should we use for the millage rate when we do the tax estimator?
Well, because they're different, there's every special authority, they're not all the same. We have a huge amount of special authorities, and they all set their own millage rate. So I believe I have to, you'll have to email that question to me so that I can get you an accurate answer. I don't know if that's calculated in there or not, but please send that to me via email and I will find out for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Yes.
When you go to LIPA and look at an aerial on a property, could you use that on the MLS? Is that legal?
I don't
The
know.
picture?
You mean,
Like a vacant lot. You guys take the aerials and we as realtors grab that aerial and put it on the MLS. Is that okay with you guys, or how does that work?
I don't, as far as whether it's legal or not, I wouldn't be able to answer that. People use our data all the time.
Yeah, because if you can save it to a PDF and then we grab it and use it, are we allowed to do that?
As I don't know if that's a legal question, or I don't know the
No,
answer
it's
to
not
that.
a legal question. Like we as realtors, I would go into LIPA, look at the aerial on a vacant lot, snip that picture and utilize it for my MLS.
Mhm.
Because it's easier for me to do that than go out to Northwest and try to take an aerial myself. You've already done the work. So
Right.
I don't know. I usually it's allowed. But all right, you answered my question.
It's probably done often. Like I said, people use our data quite frequent. I mean, all the time.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. See if there's anything. Let me point you right here too. This is some interesting information, because we do get realtors that will call and ask us about parcel splits and combinations. They'll have a client that wants to buy a home, but they also want to buy the parcel right next to them. All of the information on how to go about splitting and combining parcels is here. Just click here. We, of course, have an application that you would have to fill out for combining a parcel or splitting a parcel. And of course, the municipality that parcel is in also has their own process. So we have all of the information that you need to take into account right here under parcel reconfiguration. And it will point you to the jurisdiction that you're interested in and give you instructions and details on what's required and who you talk to in whichever municipality it is. Also, exemption information. This is about all of the exemptions that are available to taxpayers, other than, just homestead and seniors exemptions. There's veterans exemptions. If you go here, it'll give you all of the information about the different exemptions that are available. And are there any other questions?
I have one more question, sorry.
Sure, sure.
I was told that now when filing for a homestead exemption, all you have to do is show up with your driver's license and you scan it. Does that apply for all the other exemptions?
Well, they're different. You have to meet specific criteria for specific exemptions. And I would point you to, let's go back to our homepage. And if you go to the frequently asked questions icon there, you click right here on the exemption pamphlet. And that is going to tell you about each one of the exemptions that are available. And it will tell you what the qualifications are. The bullet points here that you see, those are the qualifications.
So do you guys scan the driver's license is for just a homestead now, or?
Yes, this is right in this little panel here. This is all of the documentation used to you have to establish Florida residency. That's basically it. You'd need your Florida driver's license. Yeah, we just scan that, and your Florida registration, your license tag. But it's very easy, very simple to do.
Okay.
And you
I have a question. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, how often are the addresses updated? Because I've been having issues trying to locate some of the owners.
How often are the addresses? Okay, well, when the property is when ownership is originally updated, when the property is sold, a new owner gets the property, the deed's recorded. The deeds, we get that information electronically from the clerk of courts almost as soon as that is recorded, and they hit the button and they have it in their system. We get it, they send it to us, and we update ownership. We use the address on the deed. The grantee's address becomes the mailing address for that property. And we do not update that unless the taxpayer, or unless we're contacted and told to do so. So it's not something that we would update on a regular basis or every certain amount of, every so often. We have to go by the recorded document, use the grantee's address, and it's the property owner's responsibility to get in touch with us whenever an update needs to be made to their address, their mailing address. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay, let's see. I think we have covered everything. Let me just point you right here. Since COVID, we've had a lot of an increased call volume, obviously. So it wreaked havoc on our phone system. So we have a new number. When you call, you need to call us on this number here, the 888 number. You'll have a better chance of getting through. Now, sometimes after a training, it's very common that you'll have a question that you didn't think of now, but you think of in 2 weeks from now. Please email it to me or give me a call. My direct number here, so that you don't have to go through the menu, is 239-533-6198. Or you can, of course, send me an email and I'll get back to you.
Excuse me, I do have a question. Where will we find Scrub J information?
Scrub J information.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard of that yet.
Because you pay so much per lot on the Scrub J's.
In the
So-
city of Cape Coral. Go to website of the city of Cape Coral. You will find it there.
Thank you.
We do have on our front page here, on our homepage, government websites. And I believe Cape Coral, City of Cape Coral. It'll give you a link right here to their website. Yep, it takes you right to their homepage there. So just go to the homepage and then click on government websites here, and you'll be able to find that link. And are there any other questions?
I have a question regarding the canals, especially Cape Coral, and maybe that's more of a city of Cape Coral. But when you're looking up the depths, is that based on median type?
You would need to talk to Cape Coral.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
In regards to the canal, like when I'm doing a listing, I do more rentals. If there is a canal asks for the depth and the length, where would I be able to find that information?
It's on the geo system.
Yeah, are you talking about the layers and
Excuse
legends?
me? For sure.
Are you talking about the layers and legends on GeoView? The channel depth layers?
No, I see if I'm thinking about
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That has not been updated in, I want to say, let me just look it up. I believe it's 2001. That data, the channel depth layer, I believe is maintained by the county GIS department. And I spoke with them. It's been a couple of years ago because somebody asked me about that. It's been, I believe, since 2001 when that layer was last updated. And of course, we've had several hurricanes since that time. I would say if you actually send that to me in an email, and I can forward it to GIS in the county GIS department and see if I can get you an answer on that. But it's been, I did check with them on that within the last several years, and they said it's been within the last 2 years. And I believe I spoke to Helena over there in GIS, and she said that it's not been updated since 2001.
And that's good information to know, because I do use it as a resource, not as the final say, but at least a resource with my property. So thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
Yes, I have one last question. In regards to doing a listing on the MLS for rentals, it does ask like where the sun sets or on the property.
Okay, can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
I can't remember exactly.
Are you referring to the exposure?
Yes.
Like northern exposure? Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
No, we don't have, you mean, is there a specific, do we, that's not one of the attributes that I believe we keep track of. You could easily though, go to the pictometry. That might help you. If you go to pull up the specific parcel on, bring that particular parcel, do a database search, property data search, pull up the parcel. Then when you get to this screen, you're going to click on parcel details. And you can always go here to the pictometry that we looked at. This doesn't just give you the bird's eye view that you're getting right here. If you click on the pictometry, that's where you can look, you can see the parcel from the different directions, north, south, east, and west. Here, we're looking at it from the south. And if you zoom out a little bit, here's the parcel. You can maybe get an idea of that exposure. Here's the east, this is the west, sun comes up here, goes down here. You don't have anything blocking, there's nothing here, tall buildings that's going to block the exposure, the sun. You can tell that way. I mean, you'd have to do your own investigating, but you could use this as a tool to do that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Lynnell, there's a question in chat. Does the county assess homeowners for dredging the canals in specific areas?
I don't believe so. Send that to me via email, and I will go up higher and find out.
Okay.
But to my knowledge, I don't believe so. I mean, we don't. That might be something that would appear as a non-ad valorem assessment. I could see that where that would be possible, but it's not, we would not assess that.
Okay. That was from Beverly.
Okay.
I have a question. Do we have information regarding wetland on the property appraisal website?
If you go back to the GeoView, I believe that there may be under the layer controls and legends, future land use, wetlands. This would be the only place that I would point you to. You would be, it's under zoning, planning and zoning. You'd have to open that up, expand that. And then here under future land use, it's broken down, wetlands, conservation, etc.
Thank you.
I think there's also another layer here that you might be interested in under plan developments. Approved pending, etc. And then again, of course, if there's a red exclamation point there, you're going to need to zoom in closer in order to be able to view that. Anybody else?
Do you have any suggestions on how we could get in contact with the owners that don't respond? Is there any other information we can find on them, or is just what's on the property appraiser's office?
Yeah, that's, you mean if they don't respond by mail?
Right.
No, we would not have any, as far as phone numbers or email address. No, that's not something that we would be able to give out. No.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, thanks for that, because someone told me that you guys collect phone numbers, and I was like, I wasn't sure, but I did look for it.
We do for our purposes. In other words, for, let's say, exemption, if we needed more information on on a specific, if somebody had to renew or they were applying for something for an exemption, but they didn't give us all the information we needed and we had to get in touch with them. We get phone numbers and email addresses like that, of course, on things like applications, but that's not something that we put out there and share.
Lynnell, you have another question. Please explain how to use flood zones attributes.
That you see on the property data page. We would have to point you to the municipality. We used to, I believe, have, let me just pull it up here. It's easier to see as we go. It's on parcel details page. I just got too much open here. Here we go. Okay. Under flood and storm information, we point you right to the municipality to get more information on that. We'll show you what evacuation zone it's in, and I believe there's a flood insurance zone map as well. But we would not be able to, like I said, we point you to the municipality, but we don't have specific information on it that we can give you. So I would say go to that tab on the property data page under flood zone, and it will point you to where you need to go.
And one more, please explain Save Our Homes with the portability.
Okay, let me go back here to our frequently asked questions. And here is the answer. And I believe there was just a change in the statutes that used to be you had to do it within 2 years. It's just been changed to 3. You have 3 years to apply for portability. And basically it's taking your Save Our Homes benefit and transferring it over to your new homestead. In other words, let's say you saved, because you got homestead back in 2000, the year 2000, and you lived there for 10 years. So from 2001, there was your homestead went into effect, and it capped the value at current market at that time in when you purchased it. Over a period of 10 years, the property value could only go up 3% every year. So it and the other parcels around that didn't have homestead could have gone up, 10% every year. So it saved you 7% each year. It didn't go up. So whatever the difference is you take the savings that you have from all those years you had homestead on that property, and that amount is what whatever that savings amount was, you can transfer over to your new homestead. You can port that or take that with you to your new homestead. And it's articulated better probably here under what is portability and how do I apply for it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do we have any more questions for Lynnell? Lynnell, I think that is it. Thank you again so much for being with us here at Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association. We certainly appreciate your time spending with us and taking us through the website. So much information is here, and you really, really took the time to explain it to us in detail, and we truly appreciate it.
Well, it was my pleasure, and thank you for being patient with me this morning. This is only the second. It's different doing this online like this rather than doing it in person. So I appreciate your patience. I'm learning a new way of doing things, as we all are.
Yes.
So thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. You did a wonderful job. Thank you again. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.